ready for some football. A Sunday, no, a Monday night part, cause Sunday is waiting all day for a Sunday night. NFL, please don't sue me. Anyways, I'm super excited to be back on the tube to talk about my upcoming release, Can't Catch Me, which is the first in what I hope will be a series of novels and novellas, all featuring the Houston Skyhawks. Why Houston? Because that's where I've lived for the last 5.5 years. Why Skyhawks? Girl, I don't even know. What happened was I actually had like a written list of names that were like possibilities, and Skyhawk stood out to me. And even though I wasn't sure about it like when I first did it, by the time I've gotten so many words into the book, I can't see them being named any other thing. Now, surprisingly enough, even as someone who loves writing sports romance, I've never written a football romance book before. I've written about football players, like people that have played football in the past, but I've never actually dove into the sports side, so that's been super fun for me. And even if you don't necessarily follow sports romance isn't necessarily your thing, you'll be okay, because it still has everything you can usually find in the Alexandra Warren book, like the fun banter and chemistry between the hero and heroine, the sometimes inappropriate jokes, the pop culture references, the fun side characters, and of course the spicy situations. As far as tropes go, I guess Can't Catch Me is like a childhood friends to lovers romance. Brianna and Lance grew up together, they went to the same schools growing up, and they were like the best of friends. They were both exceptional athletes, and they both have a love for sneakers, which actually becomes a big part of their adult story. Now, why childhood friends to lovers and not just regular friends to lovers? Well, Brianna and Lance were set to attend the same college, and Brianna kind of pulled the okie doke at the last minute and decided to go somewhere else. Why? You'll have to read the story to find out. But now she's back in town for, well, reasons, and when the two of them reunite, there's still some tension there because they actually haven't seen each other in about 8 years. Of course, in that time, Lance has grown into this hotshot linebacker in the NFL, which I was very intentional about making him a defensive player because I just feel like they don't get enough love in the sports romance world. But there are some other players introduced who are on offense who I hope to have as future heroes. Can't Catch Me is a full-length novel. It is a slow burn, so fair warning. But I really love these two, and I hope you will too when the book drops May. We'll talk about that later. Now, before I filmed this video, I gave you guys the opportunity to ask me some questions about the book, so let's get into that now. First, someone asked, is the playlist ready? Which y'all know I love making a good book playlist. So the playlist will be ready by the time this video drops. It'll be available, as always, on both Spotify and Apple Music. I had a couple people ask me, will this be a series? How many books will be in this series? Benita specifically asked me, was it going to be 5 books? And y'all better pray for me. But like I said earlier, I do plan to make this a series. There are some people that are introduced that I hope to make future heroes. And it'll be similar to how the Nymphs and Trojans series is, with each book reading as a standalone, but you'll get more of a complete picture if you read them all in the order that they're released. Now, how many will be released? That I can't say, because it's going to be less about a continuation of the previous story and more about adding on, which gives me the ability to be able to make the series as short or as long as I like. Someone asked how soon will paperbacks be available, which paperbacks are usually available on Amazon within a week of the ebooks release, but I do plan on offering signed paperbacks as soon as I'm able to order them. So if that's something that interests you, be looking out for that after the book drops. I had someone ask if any previous characters make appearances, which is actually not that many, surprisingly enough. We do hear from Hunter Gordon, who was a side character in On the Rebound. He is on the Houston Skyhawks, and so hopefully he'll have a book later down the line, but we do get to know more about him in this book. And then because we're in Houston, I didn't feel right not mentioning Will from Baggage Claim, so he also gets a little shout out. Someone asked who is Bae on the cover, which as you can see, the cover is lovingly displayed behind me. But Bae on the cover is some random man who had the foundation necessary to be photoshopped to perfection by my amazingly talented cover designer. So shout out to her. Someone asked what type of research did I do for this book, which, let me tell you, it was absolutely insane how many tabs I kept open while I was writing this book. things like what linebackers do, starting from training camp to preseason to regular season to postseason, NFL contracts and holdouts. There was also a lot of research when it came to shoe designing and internships in that field, and the prices of like super expensive shoes that only sneakerheads know about. I also watched a lot of vlogs on both topics, so shout out to all the NFL players that are also YouTubers because their little day in the life videos helped me out a ton. Someone asked, did Alexandra write this book or did Alexandra write this book? Which, as you can see, there's just a slight difference between the two. But I will say that both show up at points. When they go there, they definitely go there. But I will say overall that Brianna and Lance's story is super, super sweet. And last but certainly not least, someone asked, when's the release date? Which, Amazon willing, Can't Catch Me will be out on May 27th. I say Amazon willing because they have the ultimate control of when stuff actually comes out. But you can text A-Warren to 74121 to ensure you don't miss the link when the book goes live. So I hope this video didn't spoil too much, but I'm super, super excited for you guys to read Can't Catch Me. Again, it'll be out on May 27th. So make sure you grab it on release day and tell a friend to do the same. As always, thank you for watching, and until next time.